What's up and welcome back, treasure hunters. Today I got some more finds for you. I got 4 thrift store finds and 4 auction items. So let's see if you can figure out where I got each item. Now, I've actually had a little bit more luck in the past couple weeks finding stuff here and there at the thrift stores. So it hasn't been as bleak as it's been in the past, but I'm still resorting to going on online auctions, estate sales, and that sort of thing, trying to find those really good values so I can flip the items for a profit. So there's 3 items that I bought and flipped it within a couple weeks. Let's just see how much profit I made from those and if you can figure out where I got each item. So the first item here that I'm going to show you is this clay pitcher. It is hand painted and it is from Germany. Here's the markings on the bottom. Where do you think I got this? Thrift store or estate sale? I actually got this from the thrift store. I picked it up for like $3 or $4. I got it because it caught my eye. It's very colorful. You can tell as soon as you get close, it's hand painted. And the only issue with it is some of the glaze has chipped off, like on the handle and a little parts around the top here. And it looks like it was like maybe colored in or something to make it not so obvious. I don't know much about it. The only thing I can read on the bottom is it's got a number 100 and it says Heidelberg, and also it's stamped Germany and also says hand painted. But the rest, I'm not exactly sure. The maker, it's probably, early to mid 20th century and obviously from Germany. So $3 or $4. I mean, I think I can get anywhere from 35 to 50 for it unless I figure out that it's somehow worth more, but I doubt it. Next thing I got here is this painting, street art style, non-objective. It's actually on canvas, but there's paper over top of the canvas. Something I really haven't seen before. And the back doesn't really say anything. So what do you think I got this piece? Thrift store or online estate sale? And I got this one from the thrift store also. It cost $5.11. That's why I picked it up. Anytime I find interesting abstract art, I say this every video I feel like, but I always pick it up if it's a decent price. Just, somehow if I figure out who made it, or if I didn't see a signature, or if I can get help identifying it, it might be, a notable artist that could bring in a lot of profit. So it's always worth the small risk, to me at least. So I know this isn't like a decorative store piece. It's likely, I think, painted in the late 80s, early 90s, around there, maybe early 80s, somewhere around that. But just it's got some texture to it where there's paper glued on here and then painted over, and just kind of a cool different piece. I doubt I'll ever find, because I didn't see a signature anywhere on this, so I doubt I'll ever find out who actually painted this piece. But for only $5, I mean, I could get probably anywhere from 50 to 100 for it on Etsy or eBay. So the next piece here I'm going to show you is this mid-century modern clock. So the reason why I'm showing it this way is because I already sold it and shipped it out. This is a mechanical clock where, it comes with a key, you wind it. It's got a really cool mid-century modern style in wood, not entirely big or anything. So where do you think I got this piece? Estate sale or at the thrift store? This one seems a little obvious to me, but yes, I got it from an estate sale. Usually don't see this stuff at the thrift store, and if you do, you're probably pretty lucky because it would not sit on the shelves very long. I actually paid $32 for this clock, and I picked it up. It was a local auction. So I picked this piece up, didn't have to be shipped. And I only had it up maybe a week and somebody bought it on my eBay store. So what I noticed about it is, one, you could tell it's mid-century modern. It's a mechanical clock, which is always, in my opinion, better than the battery powered or quartz powered clocks out there if it has a nice movement. And it was in pretty good condition. I just watched the auction and I had a set amount that I wanted to spend on it. I wouldn't go over that, which is around $50. I found comparable clocks selling, anywhere from, $300 to $600. I ended up accepting an offer for this piece. So here's the next piece I got. This is a watercolor on paper in an asymmetrical frame here out of wood. And it was painted by Ken Cargill. So where do you think I got this one? Thrift store or at an estate auction? So this one I actually got on shopgoodwill.com, which I guess isn't really considered an estate auction, but it's some online auction. Let's just keep it at that. It's really nice, very detailed. The reason why I picked this piece up is, one, I looked up, it was easy to read the signature, so I looked up Ken Cargill and some of the paintings that he's done, and they all sold for a decent amount of money. And also, after being in one of Dr. Lori's classes, she mentioned that, landscapes obviously do, when they're done well, tend to sell fairly quickly for artwork, but winter landscapes actually sell the best. So with that in my mind, I picked this piece up. It was listed for $9.99. I was the only one that bid on it. So I got this for $9.99. It was like $10 to ship. And I think I have this for sale for like $1.99, which is kind of in the middle of the prices that I found, but obviously I'd take a little bit less than that. Here's the next piece I got, and this one might be a little more difficult if I got this at an online auction or at the thrift store. This is an original newspaper from the Wapakoneta Daily News, and it is of the first moon landing of Neil Armstrong, and that is actually where he was from. So this is like a special edition, homecoming edition, and it's in a nice frame. So where did I get this one? I actually got this one at the thrift store, and I have no clue if it even has any value, but it was just too cool to pass up. It was only, I think, $7.11 or something like that. So definitely a really cool piece. I kind of don't even know if I'm going to sell it or not. I might put it in, I have a couple other old newspapers that I was going to frame. So I might keep it with those. Otherwise, I really couldn't find any of this newspaper. I found some, other local newspapers of his homecoming and moon landing and all that. And obviously the autographed ones were selling for a lot of money. The other ones kind of just hit or miss, but seeing that this is framed in really good condition and a somewhat rare newspaper piece from his hometown, I think it could fetch a decent amount at auction, but I'm really not sure. So for only $7, couldn't pass this one up. The next piece here I'm going to show you is another watercolor, but this is kind of more of a, abstract landscape, just because it kind of drifts off into, it almost looks like a floating island or something. But this was done by Karen Bowden, and where do you think I got this one? I actually picked this up at the thrift store too, which I really haven't seen much original art at the thrift stores at all in the past couple months. So I was actually really surprised when I did finally see a piece. I picked it up and didn't even really, I might have done a quick search and I don't think I found too much, but I was just happy to find some original art. But it is in a very nice wood frame and uses a lot of neutral colors, which is always good because it can go with a lot of people's decor. I didn't find too much on the artist, maybe some stuff here and there in like local newspapers or whatever, but for $11.11, I think I could, price this anywhere from $100 to $200. The next piece I got here is really awesome. This is a solid bronze dragon. It's actually a candle holder. You can see the little places. It still has wax on it, but pretty hefty, and it is solid. This one kind of seems a little easier for a guess, but yeah, I got this one at an estate auction online, and I won this for $72, and then it was another like $30 to ship out because it came from Arizona. But when I got this, I was actually really surprised at the detail in this piece. Like, I don't know if the camera will do it justice or not, but this is extremely detailed down to, the scales, and there's even little dots on the top to make the scales look a little different. And then it's got all these spikes, and the face and the mouth, tongue coming out is just really awesome. It's a really cool piece. I didn't find anything online exactly like this, but I did find some other comparable items. They ranged a lot. There was one that sold at auction. It was a lot larger though, and it wasn't a candle holder. I think had a vase or something with it, but it sold at auction for like $3,200 on Bonhams or Skinner or something. But this one, I found ranging items. Every like smaller piece like this sold for a couple hundred, and other ones were listed for over $1,000. I put this up on my eBay and Etsy store, and I put a price of $7.99 on it because it's kind of in the middle. And I actually just got an offer earlier today for $450 on eBay, and it was somebody in France. I guess the customs and shipping and everything was real expensive, so that's really all they could do. But I accepted, just because that's over 4 times what I paid for it, and be a really quick turnaround. And it's really not worth it to me to try to haggle over $50 or $100 more, because then I might lose the sale. So as long as I make a real good profit like that, I'm always going to take the offer. So obviously what caught my eye about this piece is, just it's got a real cool presence to it. It's something you don't see every day, and seeing it in person is actually the pictures were pretty good, but seeing it in person's a lot better. It's super cool. This is actually from the Meiji period. It's Japanese, and that is like the mid 1800s to very early 1900s. So antique, older piece, and it's in really good condition. Like I don't see any like damage to his whiskers or some of these smaller pieces and stuff. So awesome find and a quick sell. It's always good. Here's the last piece that I am going to show you today. This is an abstract painting titled Orbit 1, and it was done by Barbara Yukoi. And I did get this one on Shop Goodwill too. And I paid $14.99 for it, and I think it was around like $38 to ship just because of the size. And I looked her up. I could read the signature. It wasn't identified. So I did find another piece that sold. It was like Orbit 4 or 2 or something of her work when I did some research, and it sold for, over, I think around $500 or something at auction. And so I put this up on eBay and Etsy, and I had it for $450. And then I'm running a sale, like 23% off for 2023. So somebody purchased it for $350. So again, really cool find, and really good value and a quick turnaround. So some more really cool finds. I am resorting to the online auctions a little bit more, but I am going to start frequenting a couple of the antique co-ops a little bit more, because I've had some good luck there. And there's also a flea market that I thought was not running during the winter, but it runs every weekend. It's pretty close by, so I think I'm going to check that out this weekend. Anyway, let me know what you like the most down in the comments, or if you have any questions on any of the items. If you do, I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. If you like the content, I want to see more videos about some really cool thrift store finds, and learned how to go out to thrift stores or estate sales and find those valuables. Subscribe, and hopefully I can share what I've learned over the past 6 or 7 years. So thanks again, and I will see you guys in the next video. And as always, good luck out there treasure hunting.